Morning. Wanted to make a quick long video, a 2-hour video, implementing or talking about the importance of coaching. No, it's going to be a short video, and we're going to talk about the importance of coaching. It's pretty simple, and in the morning I prep my mind. I read my goals out loud every day. I read the self-confidence formula from Think and Grow Rich every day. In my car, I recite my goals, either the Think and Grow Rich success formula, which is, someone suggested that I read Think and Grow Rich. I read it. I wrote down some of the goals. I didn't write down the definite main purpose statements, but I did write down my goals, specific goals, like a 1-year goal, a couple 1-year goals, a couple 2-year goals. So I wrote them down. I did the self-confidence formula. I just woke up in the morning and I read it to myself out loud, just as we're talking right now. I just read it, and it helped me get to my goals. It subconsciously changed a lot of habits. It made me gravitate towards goals. So it made me want to go and do the things necessary that I don't necessarily feel like doing on a regular basis. So training our subconscious mind is huge. It's powerful. It's one of the, it's a game changer. I mean, it literally changes your life. Repeating something over and over, thought patterns that we say over and over to ourselves, whether they're positive, negative, or they can just be plain silly. But that's where our minds are, and that's what shows up in our actions. So if we really pay attention to our thought patterns, how we speak to ourselves, it's gonna definitely influence your results, whether it's with your relationships, your friends, in the gym, outside the gym, business, just day to day. I mean, it really changes our actions, like, dramatically. So in the morning, I prepare my mind. I get ready. I fill my head up with, if you've been in the gym, I'll play. I don't want to say motivational stuff, but I say stuff that a coach. If I had a coach and I met with him in the morning, and we had a meeting with the whole team, this is what my coach would say. So instead of saying I don't have a coach, I have several coaches, but first thing in the morning, which is pretty early, I read my self-confidence formula, and I put on my motivational tapes. I don't want to say motivational tapes, but I want to fill my head with stuff that's going to compel me to move. I want to feel something. I want to feel strong in the morning. So for me, visualization is huge. It's something that I started when I was younger, and I think I started visualizing when I was younger because I want to say I had dyslexia. I still have it. I read slow. My thought process is, I want to say it's fast, but then it slows down because I see in pictures. So I get to visualize. I can visualize pretty much anything and everything. So growing up, I visualized myself hitting off the tee, how my swing should look, how I should play, who I was playing against, and just the performance, kind of play it out in my head. And I've been able to do this, talking to people, making sure that I'm able to express myself or communicate myself. And then also, listen to the other person, and just, it's like practice before the actual situation happens or the upcoming event happens. So, and it's huge. It's the best athletes in the world. They do it on a regular basis. And I'm going to turn the stove off because I'm making eggs right here. I'm going to turn it off. Making some eggs and spinach. So the best athletes in the world, they do this on a regular basis. They do it day in and day out, whether they recognize it or not. A lot of the stuff that I post on Instagram or on Facebook, sometimes the best of the best don't realize what they're doing. They're just so caught up in the moment and wanting to get better. They don't necessarily write down their processes, but they have a process that they go through every day. They have rituals that they do every day. They have a routine that they do every day. Just trying to find something. My shoulder's getting tired. The selfie stick didn't work today. So visualization for me is huge. It's one of the ways I can see my goal. I can visualize myself doing what I need to do to get it done. So visualization is huge, and that is an important part of goal setting, is being able to practice seeing yourself either do or accomplish or do the work necessary that will lead you to your goal or to your dreams. I mention dreams and goals all the time. You can call them, you can call them anything you want. That's going to get you to create new actions, create new behaviors, and all the stuff that you do that leads to getting to your goals. It builds up your self-esteem. It builds up your confidence. Anytime we get ourselves to do something more than we thought we could, we're going to have good feelings about ourselves. And the number one thing about that is it spreads like wildfire to other people. The other people around you, you get to influence in a positive way. And that is so awesome. So, you know what? I would say I was not the best player on the team, but I played my best every day. That's one, and I made the players around me way better, or I'd like to think so. You know what? I feel like it was important for my teammates to do well. If they did well, I was going to do well, and if we all did well, we're going to win some games. And playing to win is fun. Playing the fundamentals, not worrying about you know whether your teammates are on the same page, but knowing that everyone's going to give their best effort, and you're going to play a high level of whatever sport, and that's gratifying in itself. Mastering whatever sport you're playing, whatever you want to push yourself in, that's fun. For me, it's fun, just pushing it, seeing how I can get the most out of my abilities. That's what pushes me out, and I like to help people. I've had challenges growing up, but those are a long time ago. But I always think to myself, I go, man, if I did this, I just basically just took a process and did it day in and day out, and listened to my coaches. They made suggestions, and that was it. I just wanted to be the best that I could be, and I never put a comparison with other players. I saw what skills they brought to the table. I definitely saw this guy can hit the other way. This guy got some power. Man, this guy can pick it. He has some range. This guy can really run fast. Well, this guy's pretty smart at baseball. He knows the game of baseball. Man, just the ins and outs. So what I did was I tried to get better at all the things that make a complete player. Are all the things that make a complete weightlifter. That sport right there, it's fun and challenging. It keeps my mind healthy. It pushes me to stay healthy, because in order to train hard, I gotta sleep right, eat right on a continuous basis. I can't just drop off here and there, because then it shows up in the workouts. So preparing your mind preparing your mind for your morning warm up. It's your morning warm up. Read your goals, write your goals down, visualize them as you read them. Really picture yourself working on your goals, seeing yourself having your goals, seeing yourself enjoy your goals, whatever that may be. It could be anything, but what goals and dreams do is they help us step out of our comfort zone a little bit and grow. And if we need to learn new skills, or we need to start new behaviors or new habits, it's pretty awesome. It's an awesome experience to goal set. And I always mention Sac City, but that place is like goal oriented every day. Boom, was schedules on schedules. We're like, boom, 10 minutes of this, 20 minutes of that. It was a process. And I talk about the fundamentals, but that's pretty much all we did was master the fundamentals. When you're not having to worry about play catch, throw strikes, you take care of the fundamentals, and then all the good stuff. The home runs, the doubles, the awesome plays. Learn how to master a ground ball right in front of you. It's going to be easier to get some range and field the super awesome plays that are like 20 feet to your left or to your right. So back on to coaching. So when I get time, I listen to. I don't want to say motivated. Basically, it's I'm programming myself to hear powerful words. Hear, and really, I'm listening to. There's a bunch of YouTube channels where you can listen to interviews of millionaires, billionaires, where they started successful companies, and they're being innovative. They're creating, and it talks about being creative, creating a product, and doing the steps necessary to become successful. And they also talk about experimenting with different ideas, different approaches to getting stuff done. It could be anything from waking up early, which is reading an hour a day, learning how to type, learning how to do Google searches, maybe going back to school. Um, it's the same thing in the gym. You can learn how to squat better. You can learn how to push press better. Um, you can learn how to manage your mobility, being able to incorporate that in. So learning steps to make those workouts better. That's learning too. Being able to say, I'm going to set aside 10 minutes a day to mobilize. And then 2 weeks later you hit a PR because your hips are loose, your hamstrings are firing properly, and you're able to clean a heavy weight a lot more efficiently. um, and a lot of the times it's accessing our abilities that we already have. All these abilities are in us. It's mining for them. It's like I have a coach that says we're a diamond, but we have dirt clods. It's hidden in a dirt clod. Sometimes we got to take the chisel, hammer it out. Sometimes we just got to just keep getting a towel, wipe it down. Eventually, you're going to start to see that diamond, and then that diamond is going to start to appear more and more. So just like anything, it's the more we put into it, the more we're going to get out of it. But also, if we're here um, to become the best people that we can be, it's definitely going to be beneficial for the people that are around you, hands down. So, the better you can make yourself, the better you're gonna influence someone else to make changes in their lives. Changes are awesome. Changes are hard, um, but I like to think that what I like to help other people get better. I like to challenge myself. It's just a part of me. Like I don't know, I can't really explain it. It's something in me that wants to push and see what I can do. So back to coaching, preparing your mind. Every day is a choice to improve ourselves or have an attitude. And one thing that I notice for me is like if I'm working towards something, it puts a little more pep into my step. So and also what I hear on a daily basis, what I put into my head, what books I read, definitely influences me in a positive way, because then it helps me interact with people a lot better. I'm able to become a better coach, become a better person, and I'm constantly learning. So I put the YouTube on right now. I'm listening to Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and all these leaders of industry, and they just talk about what they do. Warren Buffett reads 5 hours a day, and basically, you know, you put knowledge in, and then you get, and it expresses itself. I've read a ton of books, and I'm like, I don't really understand it, but I use it. It'll just come out. It'll be like, hey, now that makes sense. That makes sense. It puts the pieces together. I'm like, oh, that makes sense, and it just comes out. So that's one way to learn. Sometimes I'm not necessarily. I'm like reading. I'm like, man, this is not making sense. Most of the time it does, but it takes me a long time to read a book because I have to visualize it. I have to see what I'm reading in pictures, and I put a story. I mean, I visualize everything just like a movie inside my head. So the importance of coaching and getting your head right. So one of the guys that I was listening to this morning was talking about how Kobe Bryant and when he was on the Lakers, that they would pick apart every game that they lost, to see what they can do better, because in the end they're basically building up to that championship. So they always looked at what they can do better and then worked on it. So you know when you have a setback, those are times to reevaluate what you're doing and see if you can make it better. And it's you, and I do it all the time. I go, what can I do better? How can I change? And that's one thing baseball has taught me. It's like, what adjustment can I make right now to win the situation? What adjustment can I do right now to get on base? What adjustment can I do to help this teammate right here? How can I help this teammate pick it up? We need everybody. We need the whole team, 24 guys, 30 guys, 50 guys in the game wanting the same thing. That takes a lot of work. But you know what? It's not work if you believe in it and you like the guys you play with, so it's pretty easy to work to get people fired up. So what they did was they talked about having a coach, and the main point that I'm going to make right here after this long discussion, it's a 15-minute video, goes back to coaching. The best of the best have coaches. The best of the best have coaches. So if you're getting like a Major League Baseball player, they have why do they have coaches? Because the coaches are going to see stuff that necessarily the player can't see, think, or feel at that time. He's going to get a perspective different than his own. Sometimes, the most of the time it's a confidence factor. How do you build confidence back? How do you build the confidence back up in a player? You got to watch him and see his tendencies. What is he doing? Is it mechanical? Is there some adjustments with the body? Is there adjustments with positioning? Also, is there injuries? What's going on? Is there stuff at home? So that coach takes all that information and has a conversation, opens up lines of communication to get that player to open up, get him back to his peak performance, get him back to playing. To play at a high level, your mind has to be totally clear. Totally clear. A lot of guys will play with distractions, but then they dial in that razor sharp focus. That's doing what it takes. Razor sharp focus. They don't walk in saying, my car broke down, or they're professionals. They go in, well, not all the time. Sometimes they bring in stuff, but they go in, they get their job done, they do it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. So just think, if you're making $15 million, pretty much like you're just there to do that and master that. So, it's pretty hard to have excuses when you're making $15 million and your whole life revolves around mastering a sport. So that's why they have coaches. They have coaches because everyone is a person, and people go through stuff. Whether you're a millionaire, trillionaire, whatever, you're still living the same life. We still got to do we still got to put our pants on one leg at a time. We still got to get dressed. We still got to take a shower every day. Everybody does the same freaking things every day, but it's the people that change up the process. Whether in it's setting goals, it's like, what are you doing to improve yourself? And that's what it comes down to. Is like, so the importance of a coach is huge. So to make awesome, great changes and to get the most out of our abilities, I know that I have a business coach, I have a strength coach. Man, I have like 4 or 5 coaches. I have a spiritual coach. I have a coach for, everything. I mean, I guess, I have had some setbacks in my life, and I don't use those. I don't use any excuses. I just go forward. I have goals that I'm starting to reach, and they were like 5 or 6 years ago. I wrote them down like 5, 6, 7 years ago, and I'm step by step every day doing something towards them, and it's an awesome feeling, because I know that the way I live and how I set goals is a step-by-step process, and it's something that I've always done. And if I can do it, you guys can do it out there. Just go ahead and write your goals down. One thing that I utilize with my clients or athletes, I go write down 20 goals. Write them down every day for 7 days. On the 8th day, but also don't look at the previous days 20 goals that you might want, or you might think you want. Write them down and then dial it down, pick out the top 10, and then pick out your top 5, and really evaluate like how much time, effort, how much energy you want to put into each goal, and then write down a plan. It starts with writing them down and thinking about them first. Really, that's what it takes. It sounds simple, but write them down, start thinking about them, and you'll get ideas on little ways that what steps that you can do to get to your goals. And if your goals are super huge, don't get overwhelmed. That should wake you up in the morning like, yeah, there's people already doing what we're doing. There's already people doing what you want to do. They're out there and they're coaches. They can be mentors. So anyway, the best of the best have a coach. The best, the very best in any sport. The best business guys have coaches. So there's no reason why you should not have a coach for your fitness, your relationships, your health. It's out there. There's a lot of great information out there, and it's also an accountability factor. You need someone that holds you accountable. Well, you're going to learn how to first hold yourself accountable by writing down your goals and then figuring out if you're going to need a coach. But I think you do. I think you should get a coach. So anyway, the importance of having a coach, and I just thought about it, and I go, man, these guys can shoot, they can hit a baseball, they can throw 90 plus miles an hour, they can tackle, they can tackle people, they can throw a football 100 yards. But the very best at their sports still have coaches, and then they get coaches in the off season for strength and conditioning, for training your mind, for mental toughness. That's awesome right there. When you get a coach, pick up the phone, be like, hey, I want to get better. It's out there. Opportunities out there. So anyway, there's my little. It's not a spiel, man. It's what I do. Work hard and believe in yourself. Develop your skills. Make yourself better. Write down your goals.